I remember sitting in that dimly lit room, the cold silence hanging heavy as the weight of their words sank into me like shards of broken glass. "You'll never make anything of yourself," my father snapped, glaring at me as if I had just insulted our family name itself. "All that nonsense, mushrooms? You're wasting your life chasing fairy tales." My mother shook her head, whispering, "You're embarrassing us. What will the neighbors think?" And my siblings, sneering, called me a hippie fool, someone chasing fad dreams that'd fade in a year. That day, I left my childhood home with my heart in shambles and my future uncertain, but with one thing clear: I'd prove them wrong. I'd become something they'd never expect. See, I was once just an accountant, a mid-level bean counter, drowning in spreadsheets, trying to keep afloat amidst the chaos of the corporate world. But beneath those numbers, I carried a secret passion, an obsession with fungi, especially medicinal mushrooms. It started as a hobby, a side project to escape the monotony, but it grew into something more. I devoured books, studied mycology relentlessly, and dreamed of a future where I could harness the power of these tiny life forms to heal. But in their eyes, it was ridiculous. "Fungi? That's for hippies," my brother snorted. "Why not just stick to normal jobs?" my sister smeared. Even my parents, proud of my stable career, saw my obsession as a sign of immaturity, a detour from reality. I was laughed at, dismissed, told I'd never succeed. But I knew, deep inside, that this was my calling. So I left the 9-to-5 grind behind. I sold my savings to fund my venture into cultivating rare medicinal mushrooms, focusing on their potential to revolutionize cancer treatment. I faced countless hurdles: financial struggles, failed experiments, skepticism from the scientific community. The world around me mocked my efforts. I was called a crazy dreamer, a quack, and worse. But I kept going, relentless in my pursuit. Every setback was a lesson, every small victory a sign I was on the right path. Years passed. My work finally gained recognition. The breakthrough came when I isolated a particular mushroom extract that significantly improved personalized cancer therapies. My company, once dismissed as a hippie fad, exploded onto the medical scene. Hospitals adopted our treatment protocols. Patients found hope where despair once reigned. I became a pioneer in medicinal mushroom biotechnology. Forbes featured us. Prestigious universities invited me to speak. The ridicule had turned into reverence, but the true test was yet to come. One day, I returned to my hometown, stepping onto the familiar soil of my childhood. The landscape was unchanged, dry, tired, neglected. Or so I thought. But as I drove past the old fields, I saw it. Patches of lush, green fungi sprouting wildly, where once there was only barren earth. I had transformed this land with my work. I had turned a wasteland into a thriving ecosystem, a living testament to resilience and hope. I stopped the car and stepped out, the sun warming my face. Before me, a small crowd gathered. Family, friends, neighbors. Their eyes widened as they saw what I'd become. I watched their faces, faces that had once mocked and doubted me, now trembling with disbelief. My father's jaw slackened. My mother's eyes welled with tears. Even my siblings looked stunned, their usual bravado faltering. Is that you?" My brother finally whispered, voice trembling. I nodded, unable to speak at first. My voice caught in my throat, thick with emotion. Yes, it's me. They looked at the lush, thriving patches of mushrooms flourishing on what once was barren land. The same land they'd scoffed at, called a hopeless mess. It was now a living proof. Proof that I had transformed not only the land, but also my life and, in a way, their understanding. And then I turned to face them fully. All those years you laughed at me, said I was wasting my time, that I'd fail. But I never gave up. Believed in the potential of these tiny organisms and in my own capacity to make a difference. I didn't choose the easy path, but I chose the right one. And look where it's brought me. For a moment, silence fell over the crowd. My words hung heavy, a chasm of regret and realization opening before them. I saw my father's eyes glisten, my mother's face softening, my siblings standing awkwardly, unsure of what to say. Then, in that quiet, almost sacred moment, my father reached out, not to shake my hand, but to place his trembling palm on my shoulder. "I was wrong," he said simply. "You did what we couldn't. You followed your heart and changed the world. I'm proud of you." Tears streamed down my face. I had finally arrived at the place I'd fought so hard to reach, not just as a successful scientist, but as a person who dared to believe in their own worth beyond their family's expectations. I had faced the mockery, the humiliation, the doubts, and emerged victorious, proving that even the most underestimated can grow into something mighty when fueled by passion and resilience. That day, I understood something profound. The greatest failures often contain the seed of future triumphs. I had been tripped and cast aside, but I turned that rejection into redemption. I had embodied the truth that true strength lies in perseverance, in trusting your vision despite every obstacle. My success was more than a breakthrough in medicine. It was a testament to the power of conviction and a reminder that sometimes the most unlikely stories of victory are written on the most unlikely terrain. And so, I leave you with this. Never let anyone, family, friends, society, drown your dreams. If you believe in them with all your heart, changing lives and landscapes alike, the smallest seed, when tended with faith, can transform the world. And in the end, that's the real power of pursuing what others deem ridiculous. It's the promise that no matter how dark the soil, with patience and passion, you can grow something extraordinary.